Hey guys, check out my awesome mech armor collection. And have you seen that epic Hulkbuster in the background? I used to think all mech armors were built the same, but I was wrong. It turns out that each one has its own unique features. As you can see, we already had one Thanos. But he's from a different mech armor collection, and is quite different from today's one. Here it is. We'll find out exactly how the new one differs from the previous in today's video, and we'll compare them side by side, so watch until the end, it'll be interesting. By the way, my mech armor collection will only grow. In the near future, I'll be assembling and reviewing all these and other figures. There's just not enough screen space to show everything. So subscribe and hit the bell to not miss out. Okay, so we've got this non-official mech set. Let's see what it's all about. First, let's unpack everything and spread out the pieces. There's a lot to work with here. Now, let's talk about the differences between these mechs. Some companies build them one way, while others do it differently. For example, the way they move their hips can vary a lot. Some have super flexible hips, while others are more stiff. And the fists? They're all different. Some are massive, like Thor's for example. Some are refined, resembling claws, like Black Panther's. There are more ordinary small ones. For example, Spider-Man and Iron Man had such fists. I probably liked Hulk's fists the least. They look kind of awkward. What do you think? And it's finally time to lay out all our pieces and start the build. Assembly starts as usual with the body, with the torso. The chest plate will be attached to it and the minifigure will go inside. I like it best when mech armors have a fixed pelvis, but here we see that this mech armor will have a movable one. These hinges, to which the legs will be attached later, tell us this. It means we can pose it in some dynamic poses, but it might make it a little less sturdy for playing with. So it's a trade-off between looks and function. Alright, let's attach the chest plate. And here we can put our Thanos minifigure. Let's take a look at it. There is only one face. We often see that minifigures have two faces, but here it's just one, angry. The paint job is pretty good, the golden elements shine. And there's a helmet. Our previous Thanos didn't have one. I think the color scheme here might be intentional. The purple Thanos, without a helmet, seems more casual, but the golden Thanos, with the helmet, looks like he's ready for battle. It's almost like two different versions of the character, although I'm a bit confused about the weapons. Why does the purple one have a weapon and the gold one doesn't?
Ronan's located the Power Stone. I'm dispatching you to his ship. His alternative is death. Ronan's obsession clouds his judgment.
This Thanos' shoulders aren't as huge and pumped up as the previous ones, but maybe that's a good thing. There's no excessive bulk, and the mobility of such a shoulder construction is excellent. We know this from building other mechs. Additionally, the mech armors from this collection are flexible in knees and elbows. When I bought the first Thanos, I thought it would all be one collection, but it turned out it wasn't. These are all different collections, and you can choose which construction you like better. I'll do a more in-depth comparison a bit later in this video. We're assembling the hips and arms now. They are built and also look absolutely identical. And this is actually a common situation for our mech armors. Next, I'm assembling the fist. I like its design. It's not very massive. Maybe it looks strange knowing that other mechs have huge fists. Look at how huge Thor's are, for example. But in this model, the main focus will be on the Infinity Gauntlet, of course. We'll assemble it at the very end. For now, we'll assemble the remaining parts of the legs, feet, and shins. There's nothing special to say about the feet, they're big and wide. For example, when I assembled Black Panther, I was surprised that it had thin feet. Here they are, wide, classic, like in most mechs. The legs are pretty standard, but what's unusual about them are the boots. They remind me of those old school musketeer boots. Check this out. I really like how they look. Well, let's move on to the star of our video. This is the Infinity Gauntlet. The finger mechanism here is very interesting. It's got 5 fingers, which is unusual because the other hand only has 4. They even made a special spot for the pinky finger, where it attaches. And it looks like it's really a little finger. It's pretty creative. I don't know if it's the most elegant hand ever, but it's definitely unique. I love how it looks. It's not the best for playing with, but it's perfect for display. I think they could have made the thumb more functional, so that Thanos could actually grab stuff with it. But it moves only up and down. And to finish it off, we'll add this little round piece to close the gauntlet and put in the last Infinity Stone. The hand mechanism is very interesting and cool. It looks very epic, of course. A bit clumsy, maybe. It's just a huge, very huge fist. Let's clean up those extra parts. And now it's time to compare this Thanos with the previous one. What I immediately want to note is that both mech armors have a rotating pelvis. Personally, I prefer models where the pelvis does not rotate. We had several of them. For example, Wolverine. It may be less cool. You can put these figures in fewer interesting poses. But if your goal is to play, then extra mobility in the hips can interfere. So as I said, Wolverine doesn't have this extra rotation. Iron Man doesn't have it either, but all the others have it. Well, okay, let's get back to our Thanos. So let's start by comparing the minifigures. First, this Thanos' minifigure sits inside the mech armor. But in this new set, the minifigure stands inside. Let's compare the minifigures themselves. They both look pretty standard. But this new model has a helmet, so definitely a plus for this. Let's try putting the helmet on the other Thanos. It doesn't look very good. The eyes are too low, so the helmet doesn't fit. Further, it's strange, but this Thanos doesn't have purple hands, as if he's already wearing gloves. Here, Thanos is in a vest.
With all 6 stones, I could simply snap my fingers. They would all cease to exist. I call that mercy.
The new Thanos has a better paint job. It's shinier. The old one looks a bit darker. And the new one has some cool details on the legs that the other one doesn't. Overall, they're both pretty cool, but I wish the older one had a helmet. Let's put them back in their mechs. Now let's compare the arms. This set has a very cool weapon, but I don't really like the fist. The fingers are boring. The palm is very narrow. But the deltoid of this arm is very cool. Oh yeah, there's also no movement in the elbow. The arm is fixed. Here the arm is flexible, it bends at the elbow anywhere, everything moves. I can't say that the fist is particularly interesting, it's ordinary, without any special features. For example, Spider-Man also has a pretty simple hand, but I like his fist a little more. And of course, the coolest fists are in the construction of the God of Thunder, Thor. This figure also has a weapon in its hands, like the first Thanos figure. Yeah. Now let's compare the legs. This Thanos leg bends at the knee. It can be put in various poses. And this Thanos, not only are his arms immobile at the elbows, but also his legs at the knees. Now let's finally compare the Infinity Gauntlets. In this set, the gauntlet was already assembled, ready-made. You could only insert the stones into separate slots, but the fist was already pre-made. And it actually looks very good, I like it. Maybe they could have made the gauntlet itself a little bigger. But as for the gauntlet of this new Thanos, my respects of course. It's obvious that the creators decided to make something unique. Funny, there are 5 fingers on the figure, but on the right hand, there are only 4. Of course, if you really like everything to be exactly as in the movie, then in the first set, the gauntlet is assembled correctly. Because it's very similar to the one the real Thanos had. And which do you like more? Write in the comments. Alright, let's put it all together and look at the final result. On the left now, you can see a playlist with my other mech armors that I've already assembled on the channel, and on the right is a video that YouTube has picked for you based on your preferences. Like this video. And write any comment, absolutely any. It really helps my channel. Thank you, and see you soon in a new video. Bye.